Spain is absolutely cooking in the 2024 Euro. The best team of the tournament by far in my assessment. The list of compliments can go on and on. Spain has won every single game of their 2024 Euro, 6 out of 6. 13 goals scored, the most by any team. They've attempted more shots than anyone else with 108. They've recovered the ball 255 times, more than anyone else. They've only conceded 3 goals. And to top things off, I can't believe that Lamine Yamal is only 8 years old. Hello everyone, truly hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel, I'm Tinashe. So this photo is actually real, by the way. It's baby Lamine Yamal with a 19-year-old Lionel Messi for a Barcelona calendar shoot. This photo will not go away anytime soon. Also, this man was born 3 months after the Ankara Messi goal, so let that sink in. Meanwhile, I was wasting my time with homework at 16. If only my parents listened to reason. This Spanish team's harmony has been a joy to watch over this Euro, and it's clearly that interconnection that has led them this far in this tournament. According to Joselu in an interview with The Athletic, this all comes down to coach Luis de la Fuente and the environment that he has created for the players. I think he's built a family here, which is basically what has brought us to this point. We've won the UEFA Nations League on the way, showed some outstanding performances, and the human group assembled here has been the difference maker. A fact that probably needs rehashing is that UEFA Nations League win. It may just seem like a tacked on competition to a lot of supporters, just more games and selling more tickets by UEFA and just more money, but to a lot of these players, they do seem to take it seriously. They do give their all. De la Fuente, who has been coaching Spain's youth side since 2013, is likely very familiar with each and every single one of the current group of players. He was the guy that taught them what they know, after all. So it makes sense that this is essentially one big family. Since taking over the Spanish national side, he's managed 20 games so far and only lost twice, only drawn twice. 80% win rate. You'll have to bear with me for a second here, my thoughts are a little bit scattered, but I want to talk about a lot of these players in this Spanish side while also talking about the games that have led them up to this point in this Euro. We can start with France. Ironically, in my eyes, this was actually France's best performance of the entire Euro, at least for the first 30 minutes or so. Spain wasn't letting them play their game and was kind of forcing them back, so they had to be a little bit more aggressive just by default. And that led to their goal by Kolo Muani, who seems to be wholly unloved by many France and PSG fans alike. Regardless, they attacked with intent in that opening period. Mbappe was looking very comfortable on that left side, and I thought this was the moment that they were going to break free of that shell, that shell that was keeping them so negative throughout this entire tournament. I was wrong. They were still very negative. Although it's probably worth saying that they only conceded in open play for the first time in this tournament, in this match, and coincidentally, it's when they weren't playing haram football. Spain really did look like they were on the ropes for a bit there. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch. For a couple of seconds, couple of minutes max. And then they recovered very well. It was very commendable the way they did so. And it was inspired by the man of the hour, Lamine Yamal. This guy is special. He faces up to Adrien Rabiot in the 21st minute, feints right, shifts the ball to his left, and hits a ball that you quite literally could not hit better. It's the 1 in 14 million shots that Dr. Strange saw. There's a reason people keep bringing up his age. This is not normal behavior. Mbappe was asking the ref to double-check Germany's child labor laws after the goal. The fact that those Spanish players are so comfortable giving him the ball and not really worrying about it, knowing he'll take care of it, the fact that he gets it in such crucial spaces on the pitch, and when he shoots and it goes wayward, no one gets annoyed. It really is a testament to the cohesion of that squad, and it gives even further reinforcement that he deserves all those Wonder Kid labels. It also helps that he leads the tournament in assists. 3 so far. Him and Nico Williams have been the true entertainers of this tournament. They're just so dynamic and insanely unpredictable. Williams, a 21-year-old, is 5 years older than his counterpart. Fun fact, their birthdays are a day apart, so that's pretty cool. He embarrassed Italy in the group and was pretty unlucky to come away from that game without a goal. And apart from that, he's looked lively every time he's on the pitch. Whenever either Williams or Yamal get on the ball, I feel like something's gonna happen. And I'm really happy that they've both been given the freedom to be direct in a sea of rigid tactics and ball retention at all costs. The future is bright. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Dani Olmo, baller. His injury record has made a lot of people forget that. He has some dark memories from the European Championships. In the penalty shootout versus Italy in the 2020 semi-final, he missed his pen, helping Italy through. But he's looked very sharp in this one despite only getting his first start of the tournament against France in the semi-final, which is a strange fact because he's Spain's leading goal scorer in this tournament with 3 goals. He's had 2 assists, and almost all of those goals or assists have been winning goals or have just been extremely crucial for the team outright. For the goal that eventually turned out to be the winner against France, he controls a loose ball with such delicacy, leaves Tchouaméni stuck in the mud, and fires home. It's all just wonderful football. And for the rest of the game, they do not let up. They're very calm in possession, but they're still pushing in the opposition's half and pushing their defensive line all the way up to the halfway point. It was beautiful. Rodri and Fabian Ruiz have been great at facilitating this. No opposition player is able to get near them, and even if they come close, the ball's already gone. And they're not afraid to push forward either. Rodri's goal against Georgia to bring the game back to 1-1 is evidence enough. The most Rodri goal you'll ever see. Funnily enough, Fabian Ruiz got on the score sheet in the very same game. Laporte, Lenormand, Cucurella, Carvajal, when he's not auditioning for the WWE, have all been fantastic in defense and distribution. No host nation has won the European Championship since France all the way back in 1984. That's a long time. About 40 years, in fact. I guess some traditions are meant to stay intact. Germany were knocked out of their own tournament by Spain. I wasn't really happy when this matchup was drawn because those 2 teams at that point, probably still now to be fair, were the best teams, the standout teams of the tournament. It's not really what you want to see in a quarterfinal matchup. We should take a moment to give some praise for Alvaro Morata. He's been the punching bag for a lot of jokes over the years. His finishing has let him down on numerous occasions for numerous teams over the years, which I guess is fair for criticism, but he doesn't feel like it's warranted. According to him, in an interview earlier in the week with El Mundo, that is particularly the case in Spain. He's happier outside of it, quote, because people respect me. In Spain, there is no respect for anything or anyone. I'll admit that I don't really know the full context as to why he's viewed this way in Spain or if these words are warranted at all. I assume maybe it has something to do with the fact that he played for both Madrid sides. Maybe, maybe not. Regardless, he's been fantastic in this tournament, in my opinion at least. Maybe any Spaniards watching this could fill us in with additional context. Apart from his goal against Croatia, it's clear that he's been put into this team to do much more. Dropping deep to allow Yamal, Williams, or others to push forward, generally being a target, and more. For example, in the build-up to the opener versus Germany, he collects the ball deep, passes it off to Yamal, who's given free rein. He then hovers at the edge of the box, meaning defenders have no one to cover. So when Olmo drifts in, no one tracks him, and he slots it in after a lovely Yamal assist. Toni Kroos, I guess, felt the reality of it being the last game of his career and remembered he was wearing white. As a result, Pedri was left injured in the 8th minute. Madrid through and through, I guess. A real shame for Spain because Pedri is fantastic, but fortuitous for them because they had Dani Olmo come on and do his thing. And we haven't even really talked about Spain's rotation and De La Fuente's implementation of this. Gareth Southgate saw him make 3 subs before the 80th minute and wasn't sure if any of this was legal. Another fact is that against Germany, 2 of Spain's support players came on and made the difference. Dani Olmo with the first goal, and then Mikel Merino in the second in the 119th minute, a goal assisted by none other than Dani Olmo. This is maybe a throwaway comment, but the way Mikel Merino's body moves in the air as he heads that ball, it's just picturesque. I don't know. It's just the way that he swung his body to the side. The technique was great. In the same Joselu interview with The Athletic that I mentioned earlier on, he mentions how he believes that every one of the 26 Spanish players has felt relevant and useful in this Euro campaign at one point, at the very least, through training, through communication, through everything really. Overall, I really like this Spanish side and how flexible they are in just about every facet of the game. They're still able to play those quick, close control 1-2s, but they're more than willing to get physical and play long balls when they're getting pressed around their area. And they have the personnel to give themselves a high probability of retaining the ball in those situations when they go long. Sure, they have Morata, but They also have Dani Olmo, Lamine Yamal, and Nico Williams. Unai Simon has not hesitated to look to find all Spanish players, regardless of size, with long balls over the top of defenders if the space is available. It shows how much attacking intent they have. I made a video on the history of the Spanish national team a few weeks ago where I dove deep into how they've developed stylistically. In there, I made a lot of reference as to how they went from direct and aggressive before the turn of the century to slow, calculated, and methodical in their golden age about a decade ago. This current team represents the best of both worlds. And again, I really like it. Let's see if they can go all the way. And there we have it. Let me know what you guys think about the Spanish side and their chances going forward. That's all for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.